Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. We're here. We got a market. It's well, believe it or not, it's green. At least the TSX, and only by a little bit. And I still don't know. We got a battle today between the Bears and the Bulls. I don't know who's going to win. I went with the green because green seemed to be taking a little bit of a lead. And even if by the end of the market, we dip back into the red, we gotta acknowledge the Bulls for fighting back. Now in the U.S., it's a completely different story. In the U.S., holy banana bread, it's still pretty darn red. So we're gonna look at all of these things today. We got a bell coming up. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So welcome to the market close. Okay, let's start. Well, let's start with the market. Seems like a good place to begin. All right. I want to go over here for a moment. So this, and actually, guys, let's go to this version. So this here is, we'll go this way. All right, this is the TSX. So currently, right now, we're sitting in the green. We're up 0.11%, but I want to take a look at this. Look at this drop. Look at this is from last week. So this here was on Wednesday. So basically, in 1 week, this is what's happened to the TSX. Now you'll see here, this is what's happened. You see this little bit of a loop here. This here's those bulls. The bulls are back. They're trying to stop the Bears from just running away with it. So we'll have to see how that, we're going to have to see how that all turns out. But I'm optimistic. I am optimistic. I know that we were talking a lot about this on the weekend. And I had said on Sunday, on this week, that I felt we were going to have a pretty darn red day on Monday. There'd be lots of buying opportunities. It surprised me. Monday started off green, and I was ready to eat humble pie because I was like, I didn't see it starting off green. But the Bears, they came in, they dove it right back into the red. So definitely a big time red. Now, yesterday, red as well. I kind of thought that. And we talked a little bit about this on Monday's market close. I was saying that we're looking at red, and probably even on Wednesday, which is today, we're starting to see that little bit of pressure, that buying pressure, that little bit of pressure to the upside. We are starting to see that. The bulls seem to be making a comeback. So could we finish this week in the green? That's going to be the question. And that's what I'm going to ask you guys. Are we finishing this week in the green? I think overall the week will be red, but I think we're going to get a really good green showing towards the end of the week. So, we'll hear what you guys have to say on this. But look at the other markets, the S&P 500. Well, we can actually look at the market. It's doing the same thing. Now, it doesn't have that big, deep drop the way we had with the TSX. So they're down today about 0.4%. NASDAQ, oh, poor NASDAQ. NASDAQ is down 1.15%. Gold is down. Here we got gold. Now gold, look at this. Gold is on this tear. This is just fantastic. So this is nothing. This is honestly completely nothing. I wouldn't even be worried about it. Silver's up though. Silver's in the green. Look at silver go. Look at them go. I think the moon's just over there perhaps. So we'll have to see. And we'll pull up oil. Oil, look at this. We had a bit of a drop. And it's really interesting. With all of the uncertainty in the Middle East, you would think that oil would be immune to issues. If anything, you would think people would be coveting it even more. But today it's not that day for oil. Oil definitely had a bad day. And Bitcoin, same thing. But we got the halving coming up. So with Bitcoin traditionally does a little bit of a retracement before the halving. I did see an article today saying that as long as we don't retrace below 57,000, so right about here, so as long as we don't go below here, which is basically where their some of their averages are, then we should be fine. That would be completely normal for a halving. So not too worried about the Bitcoin at this point. Let's look at the heat maps. I like the heat maps. All right. This is not a bad heat map. With the amount of red we saw today, you would almost expect there to be more red in here, but the green is really starting to come through. The banks are starting to do a little bit better. There's TD up 0.88%. Minerals, yeah, not so good. Kind of a mixed bag. Non-energy minerals doing okay. Look at this. Utilities actually doing okay. Good old Fortis. Good old Fortis. Look at this little peak to the upside. I'm okay with that. Fortis has been Fortis is one of my favorite stocks, and I really want to see them do well. But when we look at the retail trade, Alimentation Couche-Tard up, Dollarama still doing great. Look at this. Let's come on, bring up Dollar. Here we go. So this here is their earnings call, which was fantastic, and they're just that just put them on a new plateau, and they just seem to be going back and forth. Not too shabby. All right, let's look at the U.S. Here we go. A little bit more red, and they're still in the red, so that does make sense. Meta down a little bit. Now, Meta has an earnings call coming up fairly soon, and I have a feeling it's going to be a good one because even if you look at the recent correction that we're seeing in tech, that's not within that quarter that they're going to be reporting on. Basically the quarter they're reporting on, they were to the moon. So that's going to be really, really, really good. NVIDIA, let's pull NVIDIA up. I know a lot of you guys love NVIDIA, but they've been struggling a little bit here. Down to $843.60. Up from that, there's their high at 950. I want to see that 1,000, but right now I'd be happy to see them get back above 900. So let's see what happens. We'll see what happens for sure. There's United Health. Somebody was talking about this the other day. United Health Group is, look at this. That's a nice little bounce there. All right, we'll take a look at crypto. This one's going to be a little more red. And as you can see, we got Bitcoin nice and deep, 4.19% down. Ethereum's down, Solana's down, Cardano's down. It's like there's a lot of down coins. So yeah, that's good old Bitcoin. Oh well. Yeah, and the good old ETF screener. Let's see who we have up at the top this time. Oops, let's go this way. We'll go sort descending. There we go. Yeah, so once again, silver up there at the top, Royal Canadian Mint, silver. They're still doing really, really, really good. All right, there we go. That's fantastic. Let's pull back big head me, and we'll get caught up here with the comments. JJ is first in the house. Early crew, nice going. You're first. Somebody has to be first. Kevin Akaz says, hey, gang. And we got Mary in the house with a hello. JJ saying, big red today compared to Monday. Well, yes and no. I mean, it's starting to look pretty darn good right now as we're still sitting in the green as we speak. So we've got 7 minutes to see if we can stay in the green up here in the TSX. And we're going to try. We'll try. JJ says, I ran out of money to buy more. That's sometimes that sounds like a problem, but that's kind of one of them rich people problems. I ran out of money buying stocks. Oh dear. No, it's still fun. And Kevin Kaz is the same way. Threw some cash into silver and gold, really hoping it bounces up. Oh, definitely a good pay. 9 says, Canoe paid me a nice dividend. Got to reinvest that. Yeah. The 15th was a big day for dividends. Really, really, really cool. Oh, I want to show you guys something. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull this up here on my good old iPad. Come on. It's not recognizing my fingerprint. There we go. Now it has. All right. Give me one moment, guys. I am pulling up Blossom. So Blossom had a whole bunch of new stuff that came out. Now this is on the Pro version. Oh, seriously? Look what it says. Time to update. All right, we'll update that here in a second. I'll show you guys here in a moment. We also, by the way, had a budget that came out as well. So I got to hit update. So I'm not sure I understand. It's okay. It's okay, Siri. I'm not talking to you. As always, Siri, everybody coming into the chat. But yeah, we had the Canadian budget drop. Let me tell you, not a fan of this budget. You know, there's some good stuff in it for housing. There is, but this new capital gains, I'm not crazy about it. And I'm going to explain why. Because you might be thinking, well, come on, Candace, are you making $250,000 a year in capital gains? No, absolutely not. So yeah, that doesn't affect me directly, but all of the companies that all these corporations that we invest in, um, some of them may, and all of a sudden, if they're paying more taxes, that's less money that's going into growth. That's less money that's going into dividends. So there could be a sort of a knockback effect on us. So it's just one of those neat little things. All right, guys. I am into Blossom, and I'm going to show you guys here in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'm just going to navigate there, and then we'll go from there. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is kind of neat. See if you guys, I'm going to pull it up here. They have this new thing called a dividend. Hey, you guys can see my iPhone there. It's acting as a camera. Cool. Anyway, sorry for the reflection. It's a dividends calendar. So basically, it keeps track of everything. So the X date, so your X dividend dates, and then the next. So my next dividends, and this is in the challenge because I got my challenge in here. Will be on April 26th. So BNS, they're saying about 742. So probably around that. But it is a new feature within Blossom. It is part of the Pro, Blossom Pro. So if you're part of Blossom Pro, you can see it. If you're just part of the regular free Blossom, you won't have access to that. But if that's something that does add value to your life, it is there. It is something that, you might consider. It's up to you guys. Those of you who are not yet a member of Blossom, use my link down below. Just sign up, download the app. It's free. You can hook up your portfolio or you cannot hook up your portfolio. It's really up to you. But you can basically chat with a lot of great people, a lot of like-minded people, and of course, all of us YouTubers in the financial, I guess, finfluencers, Canadian finfluencers. A lot of us are in there as well. So if you do go over, follow me. I'll follow you back, and I will probably comment on your stuff. I do my best to try to get some comments in there for folks as well. All right. Jordan, Jordan's in the house. Good afternoon, Candace and chat family. Always good to see you, Jordan. One of my favorite people. Kevin and Kaz says apparently you can get dinged on house selling too, I think. Not if it's your primary residence. So I think that they whoa, that whenever I get a frog, it's time for Starbucks. Starbucks in this crafty little mug. This is not sponsored by Starbucks, but it should be. Hey, Starbucks bot, come back. Very good. All right. No, they did say in the actual presentation in the House of Commons, I was actually over on Russell Matthews' page on his channel. He was doing a live stream of it, so I watched part of it over there. But no, they made it clear that it's they're exempting houses, principal residence. So if you are selling property, but you don't actually live in it, meaning it's not your principal residence, then yes, it would apply. So, but if you are selling the house that you live in, you still have all of the benefits that you would have had before this. So you're okay on that. You're okay there for sure. All right. 9 says, the budget news worried me more than the Middle East. Capital gains tax increase is nonsense. Yeah, I think it's dumb. I think leave it alone. So many governments have, sort of talked about, maybe we can change that a little bit, but messing that up, nah, leave it alone. Hopefully the next government will put it back where it was. Hopefully. The only thing I'm hesitant of is sometimes when a government does something unpopular, but it produces money, the next government may just ignore it and leave it in place. That's always a possibility. All right. JJ says, yeah, I'm not a fan of this budget either, though I was not too surprised with their decision. No, I'm not surprised either. But we all know if the government would just sort of streamline things, stop wasting money on dumb things, ArriveCan app, we'll put that out there. They could do a lot better. They really could do a lot better. Up to 67% is insane. Yeah. Yeah, it is, absolutely. Um, I'm glad though. I'm glad they didn't do it to everybody, but there will be a knockback effect when it comes to investing. There's no way around it. And Kevin Kev says, "Oh, I love the dividend calendar feature." Oh yeah, I was like hyped when I saw this, and a huge thank you to Kevin and Cass for a $5.49 super sticker. I have to. It doesn't show me what the sticker is, unfortunately. So I have to just go back over here and take a look. It's the coffee. It's the coffee one. All right, I have to do the coffee. Woo! Here we go. 3D coffee. Woo! Low budget SCTV style 3D. There we go. Love it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It is bell time. Holy cow. See, you guys had me so distracted in a good way. But that's cool. That's cool. I am really, really, really good. Ian says, I'm at work, so I can't watch. Is DJT a meme stock now? Short squeeze. you know, the funny thing is, those guys over on Wall Street Bets, this is the type of stock they would do. They would do some crazy stuff to. So you never know. Dangerous as dangerous as can be. I mean, I'm not going to touch it. I won't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. But it's it could happen. It could happen. So, maybe hang out in Wall Street. Heck, maybe go over to Wall Street Bets and say, "Hey guys, let's do our thing to JG today, to DJT." It could be a plan. It could be a plan. And Donald Trump might even miss it because he's sleeping in court. At least he's getting a good, some good rest. Happy for him with that. Actaz says another 40 billion in the hole. Yeah, that's the thing. I want to see balanced budgets, and it just seems like we may have to wait for the next government. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And yes, the bells. I was almost a full minute late. I was about 57 seconds late. But we'll take our final look at the market here in a second. Once I get caught up here with the chat, Perlovia says liberal government relies on taxpayers to cover everything. Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, all governments do rely on taxes to pay for everything. But I would just like to see more efficient use of taxes. That's what I'm sort of looking at. So that's kind of a cool thing. And, I just noticed over here on the side as well. I don't know if what can I do here? No, it doesn't let me do anything. It just gave me a little gray box saying that that super sticker from Kevin and Kaz was their third on the channel. There you go. Wow, that's friggin' awesome. Bleak's in the house with a hey you. Jonathan's in the house. Bell, yeah, you missed the bell. It did happen. Trust me, it happened. I'll show you the bell. I'm not going to ring it now because it might be bad luck to actually ring the bell when it's not the time. But hey, when I do get to that 4,000, I do the open to close, I will do the bell twice. I'll do the open bell, then we'll do the close bell. So that will be kind of cool. JJ says, I'm oversaturated on Canadian companies in my rebalancing. So international and USD securities, here we go. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Jonathan says, dang it. Oh, gosh. Okay, GID says, why is HPS.A down today? Budget, I think there's a whole bunch of reasons. When you're looking at a stock like HPS.A that has that phenomenal amount of growth, you're going to have corrections. So I think in this case, we're looking at a little bit correction, a little bit Middle East. I don't think the budget affects them that much. Now, a company that the budget would probably affect more would actually be... let me see, Brookfield Asset Management, because that's what they do. They're they're going to experience more capital gains, things like that. So, and there's also probably some ETFs as well that would impact more. So what you might see is, if this does become a big issue, you could see, like, for example, management fees rise on some of your favorite ETFs. You might not though. We may be overestimating it, and we're kind of in that point where we're sort of like, oh dear God, what did the liberals do this time? Oh God, I should clip that. Jonathan says, I'm never home fast enough. Oh dear. Jonathan, walk faster. Walk faster. That might do it. Muhammad says, I'm still sitting on a lot of cash in my RRSP, not knowing what to buy. Here's the thing. Let me throw this out there for you. If you're sitting on cash and you don't know what to buy, consider looking at some of the different cash ETFs, because those are basically, they're stable. The price doesn't really move very much, and you're getting at least about a 5% return on it. And then once you know what you want to buy, you pull it out of the cash ETF and you deploy it. That way there, it's not just sitting there as cash, not making anything. So I would highly, highly say that that's a really effective way to handle extra cash when you have it in your your RRSP, your TFSA, your RDSP, or whatever, or maybe your RESP. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of acronyms. Vic Van says, I'm late to the party. I love your insight about the budget and how you think that'll affect the TSS private equity REITs, etc. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I like to sort of think about, sometimes you'll look at something and on the surface, it's like, okay, this does not impact you directly. Well, that's okay. I don't mind if it's not impacting me directly, but I want to know about all of the ways it impacts me indirectly. Look at it out. Think out the whole thought process and see what it's going to do. So just something I would like to, do. GID says, what about TFII? I couldn't find any news for that either. No. Right now, I mean, basically, the market, it's hard to say. When you're looking at a market that has a lot of bad news, there's a lot of downward pressure right across the board, especially, after everything that happened from the weekend. It's hard to sometimes tell, is it just that, or is there something else going on behind the scenes? So if there's no news, that's good news. Once this sort of sorts out, especially, here's the thing, I want the whole Israel retaliation thing to go away. Either, do some light retaliation or something, get it done, let the market get back to normal. Let's not have people sitting on pins and needles wondering what's going to happen. It's kind of that thing. And JJ, going back to Muhammad, cash.to is still the go-to. So that there is one of those cash ETFs. Easy to remember, cash. So that's not a bad thing. And 9 says, yeah, I hold cash ETFs and short-term treasury bills in my registered account to avoid interest tax. There we go. Okay, let me very quickly, let's bring this here back. Whoa, we're going to probably get that weird thing. I got to go to the right screen. Here we go. We're going to go right back and look at how it ended now that the market's closed. The TSX, look at this. The bulls won. I mean, pretty much by the scrape of their shinny shin, but they made it through. Up 0.06%. So an official green day on the TSX. Not so good in the US. S&P 500 down 0.58%. NASDAQ almost down a full percent. Gold is down. They could still recover. Silver still looking good today. Of course, Bitcoin and oil both down. Final look at the heat maps. Not so bad in Canada. Not bad at all. The railways both railways are down. I do like the railways. I'd like to see them be up though. So we got to look at it that way. Ford is still finished in the green. CSU, Shopify, not a bad market. Not a bad. I mean, it's not like bright green or anything. And this is kind of interesting too. Whoops. I can zoom. Oh, I can zoom in with like that. There we go. So we can see the smaller ones. But I can also sort this, by the way, and get rid of the losers, for example. So these are some of the bigger winners. So you can sort of see. Look at this Enbridge up a little bit. Let's go even higher. All right. So let's see. Looks like the big winner in Canada right here, Air Canada. Let's take a look at Air Canada. Well, yeah, look at this. Look at this jump. They had a nice day. Air Canada. Go Air Canada. You're flying high today. A little bumpy the rest of the way. Look at all that turbulence, but we'll have to let them go. All right. And on to the US. once again, red day down there. A lot of companies in the red. What can you do? What can you do? Well, look at this. Here's one bright spot down here. McDonald's. They had a nice little bump. A little bit. I guess I'm liking it. Is that what it is? Or is it? Yes, I'm like, yeah, something like that. I don't know. We'll leave that be. We will leave that be. So there we go. That's the end of the markets. There was, no, there wasn't. I'm just going to pull back. Oh, we are actually, I want to do one more thing. We're going to go over to Discord here for a moment. And so over here, there's a couple of things on Discord that are kind of interesting. One, we have the pool. So this is where I pull those stocks or ETFs when you guys are doing the votes from. So I rely on you guys to throw the companies you want at me. Now, if I run out of companies, I'll just pick them. But you know, I want you guys to see the deep dives that you guys want to see. The deep dive coming up this week is actually CT REIT. CT REIT finally did it. So they're going to be getting the deep dive. I've already scripted it. I'll be filming and editing it tomorrow. And channel members, you guys are going to get to see it tomorrow, which is fantastic. You guys get to see all the videos a day early. Unfortunately, I can't let you guys see the live stream a day early because it kind of involves technology that hasn't been invented yet. But when that does happen, for sure, we'll do it. We'll do it. But yeah, so there's a couple things. So there's a deep dive, the pool. I also just have one called deep dive requests. Feel free to come in here and throw in your requests. Throw them on videos, any of that stuff, because, you know, we'll get them done. And just because I've done it before, if it's a company I did like a year ago and you want to see it again, yeah, throw it in, ask for it, because, you know, sometimes it's nice to see how a company has done a year later type thing. So not a bad thing. All right, there we go. All right, let's remove that. Bring back the big head. All right. And where are we at? There we go. Oh, Vicvin. Oh, sorry. I'm late. I missed if you commented on the budget and how it'll affect Canadian equities. Expecting a big sell-off before the June 25th deadline capital gains hike. Okay. So we'll just we'll hit that again. The biggest issue is that, you know what? Yeah, if you make less than $250,000 of capital gains annually, they don't touch you unless, and this is the stipulation too that I think a lot of people didn't get, unless you're a corporation. So from the sounds of it, if you're a corporation, they might even ding you on lower amounts. So it looks to me like they're really trying to hit the big companies. So corporations, they're probably not looking at like little small businesses, but I think if you're actually if you're an actual corporation, that's kind of where they're looking at. So how does this impact us as investors? Well, if you have, and let's use Brookfield Asset Management as an example. So Brookfield Asset Management, they manage assets. That's what they do. So they buy a lot of companies, and now if they start selling, and incurring capital gains, that stuff is going to get taxed at a higher rate. Instead of the regular 50%, it's going to be closer to, what is it? I think it's 75% almost. I mean, or no, somebody said 67 or 60. I think it's 2/3. So yeah, 66.6. So 67%. They're going to get taxed that instead of the other. So that money is money that's no longer in the fund. So how does that impact us? Well, it could mean that, for one, they probably won't cut their dividend, but when it comes to a future dividend hike, maybe they were going to do a 2% hike, but instead of doing that 2% hike, they do, let's say 1.5 or 1.6. So little tiny nickel and diming. So we're going to get nickel and dimed because of what this thing does to everybody else. So it's kind of interesting when it pulls in there. All right. So I'm not happy with it. I don't think they needed to do it. I think, before you start creating new revenues of tax, look at your own inefficiencies and see what you can clean up. So clean your own house first before you start, putting the rules out for everybody else. But, they like to spend money, so they need to get it somewhere. And this is going to be probably a little bit of a windfall for the government. So we'll have to sort of see. Now, When it comes to investing, I mean, as a regular investment, well, I don't think it's a time to start pulling everything out, but some people will. Some people will be like, "Oh, I've had it with the Canadian market. I can just invest in the American market and be fine." Um, it's true, but you have to then sort of deal with, once again, taxes. You got withholding taxes, things like that. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. The other thing, though, businesses wise, is a business in Canada who, could be looking and say, okay, well, why are we in Canada? If they're going to start hitting us with these extra taxes, let's just relocate our business to the US, or let's relate, or Europe or someplace else. So you could have the situation where some businesses might make that decision. I don't think a lot will. I mean, it's one of these situations. I think a lot of businesses that operate out of Canada already kind of realize we're in a high tax environment, and they're just not kind of used to it. So we'll have to see. Now, once the next government gets in, conservative governments tend to be a lot more friendlier to corporations. So hopefully they turn things back, get everything back to normal. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. All right. Evelyn says HPS.A. What happened? So we're probably looking at a little bit of a correction with a lot of the sort of the economic uncertainty going on. Now I don't know how much it fell. I haven't actually looked at them today, so let's do that. Let's actually pull up HPS. We'll get over here. Do I have them in here? No, I've got HMM.A down 1.8%. Let's not just add it. HPS.A. Here we go. Hammond Power. There we go. I know I have it on one of my lists. I just want to pull it up here. So let's take a look here. Look at this. Look at this. That's a big drop. That is a really big drop. So we're looking at from 156 down to 141. So yeah, that's a little bit of a big drop. I do not see, I'm just looking here at the news down below here. I'm not seeing anything really, really big here. Now that's 7 days ago. So there's nothing recent here as to why this happened. It could still be a correction. I mean, they have exploded when you're looking at their growth. I mean, look at this. They have exploded like crazy. So what'll be interesting is to see what happens tomorrow. So this here, one candle, this is on the 1 day. So this here is just simply 1 day. Now, I wonder, I'm just going to take this down to, let's take it down to 4 hours. Yeah, it's pretty much straight through the day. So there wasn't a recovery towards the end of the day. It doesn't look like, not very much anyway. So we'll have to watch HPS. I still have a lot of faith in them. So those of you who are looking at this to me is more or less, might be an opportunity to pick up some more, because I do have a lot of faith in this company, both Hammond Power Solutions and Hammond Manufacturing. I think both of them, they've got a lot. Well, we recently did a deep dive on HPS.A and HMM.A as well. But they've got a really, really good footprint in India. That's making them, it's to the point that they have so many customers that there's people waiting. There's a wait list to use their services. So I'm not super concerned about this. Now, if we had a week and it just kept on going down, I would then my alarm bells start to go off a little bit. But this is just 1 day. It's a little bit of a correction. It could just as easy make this up in a day if it really wanted to. It probably won't, not with the week that we're having. But let's see what happens. If it keeps happening, bring it up on the next market close and we'll look into it a bit deeper for sure. And JJ saying, yep, 67%. So yeah, 67%. Yikes. That's just not great. All right. It's time for a coffee moment here. Oops. We should go large screen for coffee. Here we go. Yes, that is very, very good. Okay. Now, I have finally been given access to the premium version of Seeking Alpha. So I'm looking at it. It's my initial response. My initial response is that I need to figure it out. It's not go straight in and configure out everything right away because it is mostly geared towards, it appears to be mostly geared towards American stocks. So, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So there's still a few things I'm playing with on there to find out, what exactly you can do. So far, it hasn't really replaced any of the stuff that I normally use. Like I think I use, for example, well, you guys watch me. I'm using TradingView a lot on air because it's a fantastic, it's got fantastic graphics. So I have, like I said, I'm only just dipping my feet into seeking alpha as I figure that all out. And I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know what happens as I do that. So, I think they're, I don't know what I would say. I think, um, I think they have a good service, so we'll have to check. I'll have to see. I did actually have another company reach out to me today, and I don't know about this one. Um, Moomoo, Moomoo wants me to promote them. So, basically they're affiliates. But here's the thing: I've never used Moomoo. I don't know anything about them. I know they are commission free. They are brand new, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of good commission-free options out there right now. Like there's Wealthsimple, which is great. And then if you want a bigger bank, you got National Bank. They're great. That's what I'm using mostly. So I'm not sure. Do any of you guys use Moomoo? And if you do, what do you think of it? I'm kind of curious to know. So, I haven't said no to them yet, but I'm kind of not really warmed up. Because I don't want to, it's that situation where if the best choice is Wealthsimple, I don't want to be saying you guys should all go sign up for Moomoo. So, um, yeah, it's just one of those things. So let me know. Do you guys use Moomoo? What do you think of Moomoo? And we'll go from there. We'll go from there. But I'm kind of leaning in the no category with Moomoo. It's even the name. It's like it's hard for me to take it super serious at all. So it's kind of that fun thing. Um, Another interesting story that came out this week was if you remember the bored apes. Um, oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. All right, just give me a second. Let me gonna pull this over here. Here we go. All right, let's bring this up. All right, here we go. So this is ChatGPT, and you may recognize this image. This is the bull on the thumbnail. So here I'm gonna see if I can do this. All right, can you please create a let's say a bored looking ape with a banana. Why not? With a banana. In a cartoonish style. All right, so this is my bored ape. I'm making it right now. And we'll let ChatGPT pull it up. Now, as it's doing this, so bored apes, they've actually fallen to their lowest value ever. So right now they're still much more expensive than I thought. So right now they're going for about 11 ETH. So you'd have to take a look and see what the price of ETH is. But here's my bored ape. I'm gonna bring it up bigger. Come on. There we go. This is my bored banana breadhead ape. There we go. Any of you who want to buy it, just 11 ETH. Just 11 ETH. You know what? Just take a screenshot of it. Or I will even, you know what? I will post this over on the Discord. So you guys can all download it for free. And then you could say, I got a bored ape here. An exclusive Mountain Finance bored ape made live on the stream. There you go. This is fantastic. Awesome. It actually is kind of cute. Oh dear. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But yeah, so bored apes, their price dropped. So 11 ETH is pretty cheap apparently for these bored apes. Once again, though, as I just demonstrated, That was a fantastic looking bored ape. I would be willing to hang that up in an office. Why not? But I'm not going to pay 11 ETH even now for a bored ape. NFTs, I think they have a place, but I don't think it is for really expensive art. So we'll just leave it like that. Evelyn says, rental housing in Canada, a crisis. Slapping more CG will be a deterrent to investors. Um, yeah, rents in Canada are crazy. Um, and the worst part is that there's really no end in sight. So I know, and I sort of really kind of made fun of the government a little bit on the weekend about how they claimed this budget had everything in it to completely fix the housing crisis. No, or yeah, nope, 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 and no. There's some good things in it. You know, there's good things. I'm going to give them credit. A lot of their incentives towards housing, great, great. Cutting some taxes, cutting some tape. That's always good, but it's not a fix. It's not there yet. So what we need is we need enough houses to support the larger immigration that we currently have. Now, I understand why we need a large immigration, and I'm totally okay with it, provided we can meet their needs. We can meet the housing needs. If you bring in, we'll just use small numbers. If you bring in 1,000 families, well, there needs to be 1,000 homes that they can move to. Whether it be apartments, whether it be actual houses, duplexes, whatever, there needs to be that accommodation. Because if you bring in a lot of people and you don't have any place for them to go, that's not good. That's how you have, especially professionals. Like if you bring in some immigrants who are professional and have a lot of money, well, they're gonna one they'll probably help drive up the rent, and they'll be like, yeah, we can pay more. Um, that's part of the issue, but they can also just leave. They can head to the States, or they could head somewhere to another country that perhaps has the houses that they can buy, and all of that. So it's one of these things we really need to sort of look at how we can really fast track a lot of houses, not just like sort of saying, okay, well, we have this fund that you can apply for. It's like, no, let's find ways to do this. Let's think outside of the box when it comes to getting some of these houses up. And even if it means, I hate to slow immigration down, but I mean, we kind of need to and they have given them credit. They have slowed it down a little bit. But we're at that sort of double-edged sword that because our fertility rate is less than 2.1, we're not creating enough Canadians. We need to bring them in. We need to make new Canadians any way we can, for the sake of our GDP. But we have to sort of, if we're using that approach, we need to make sure that this housing thing shouldn't happen. We need to make sure that we have the places to live. Even if it's a situation where we start looking at empty buildings, or whatever it is, and convert them to condos, whatever it takes. People should not be moving into a country and have to then live in a tent. That shouldn't happen. That's just my take on it. But Mary says, Griffin Milks has YouTube promoting Moo. He is leaving wealth simple. Griffin Milks. Interesting. I mean, it's one of those things where right now at this point, because I think what's happening is Moo is reaching out to Canadian YouTubers, and hey, I'm glad that they reached out to me. But I wonder if he's doing it because it's a better service, or if he's doing it because, if he can move, like, because he's got a lot of subscribers. If he can start moving his subscriber base over to them with affiliate links, that's a lot of money. That is absolutely a lot of money. I know some people have made crazy, back in the day, before my channel, when we had Hi-Ri, he made a lot of money off of Wealthsimple. He made a ton of money off of Wealthsimple because he had an influx of new investors who didn't know where to go, and he was there to say, "Go to Wealthsimple," and they did, and that he was getting kickbacks for all of that. And that was when they used to. At one point, you get free stocks. So I think one time he even got like one of the bigger stocks. So it was like hundreds, like not hundreds, but actually thousands. Can't remember which stock it was at the time, but it was a big US one. So, it's one of those things. So in this case, is he doing it for that reason? I don't know, because I'm not inside of his head. I don't, he's one of the few channels that I don't really follow. Yeah, I mean, if any of you guys have tried it, let me know. Let me know. I'm curious to know. I mean, I would be curious to go over and look at it for sure. But I do like Wealthsimple. Of course, I have complaints about Wealthsimple too, but for the most part, I do like it. Bismarck, he says, you should get them put on a coffee mug and sell them. Ooh, the new Mountain Finance Board Ape collection. There we go. that would actually be kind of funny to put on a, I'll just pull it up again while we're talking about it. That would be kind of funny to put on a mug or a hat or a t-shirt. Wow. Or here's the best. Maybe this is what I could do. I could print them off, and then maybe I could print and order like 100 of them, and then sign that 100. So there'd be like 100 limited ones with with my signature or something on it. Holy cow! Anyway, that's just that's funny. That's funny. Jill's not too abreast. It's like, stop it, please. Put a cork in it. There we go. Trevor says, late but here. Absolutely. Red flag. Nice. JJ says, I'm sticking with Wealthsimple. At least it's a more reliable platform. Pretty sure Griffin is just doing it as a paid sponsor. And that may be. That may absolutely be. I was kind of sort of hinting that may be, but like I said, I don't know what he's thinking. So I don't want to sort of put words in his mouth or thoughts in his head. And he can do that on his own. Vic Finn says, from Perplexity, Moomoo is a trading platform offered by Moomoo Technologies Incorporated, which is an indirect, wholly owned subsidiary of Futo Holdings, a company based in China. Oh, yeah. And one of the interesting things too is all of their contact information was through WhatsApp, and I don't want to. I get leery. I get leery when something's through a WhatsApp, but we'll have to see. We got Rhubarb in the house, late but posting. Hey, for the first time, awesome. Post one more time, and then you can say you've done it twice. So that's kind of cool. See, Jill says that's because somebody promotes something doesn't mean it's a bad product. With Ryan promoting Wealthsimple, that was fine. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I will, if I have a good product that I think is of great benefit to you guys, I have no problem promoting it. But if I have a product that I don't like, I'm not going to promote it. There's just no way. It goes against my my integrity senses. Jill says you definitely should be doing merch. Yes, I started working on it. I'm going to pull that up to higher priority. I want to get some merch together. I don't know if we're going to see our board banana bread ape, but you never know. If you guys want it, I will save the picture. I will save it. Accidentally removed me from the stream. Here we go. All right. I meant to remove the ape, but I guess I couldn't tell which one was the ape. Holy banana bread. Enid says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. No worries. No worries. Good to see you. Glad to see that you're here. It's been a fantastic stream. So I will definitely say, go back and catch the beginning if you want. We got Mart in the house. What are Canadian platforms that would be best for day trading? I'm currently learning with Interactive Brokers Practice Account. Okay. Wealthsimple, not that great. Only because their desktop. Because normally if you're day trading, you're gonna want to use your desktop. Day trading on a phone? No, doesn't work, doesn't really work, or even, well, maybe an iPad, but still, you kind of want to be able to move fairly quickly. So what I've been using is National Bank Direct Brokerage. They are commission free, and I find them very easy to maneuver through once you get used to it. So I like them. I find them easy. I can make trades quickly. So that's kind of the thing. I did try as well. I tried Desjardins. Now Desjardins, they're commission free as well. The only issue is I found that they have so many steps in the process and they have so many options that it made it a little more difficult. Now, if you're only doing swing trading, I imagine Desjardins would be fine. Now, Desjardins also has a trailing stop loss, which is absolutely a cool thing. So the way a trailing, oh, let me show you guys here. You guys may not know about trailing stop losses. I don't know, or you might. Give me a second here. I'll pull up this other screen. I need the whiteboard. Come on, whiteboard. Here we go. All right, got this. We'll go with purple. I feel like purple today. So with a trailing stop loss. So what happens is, let's say you buy. I'll just put the information up here. So if you buy, actually, I'll go with text. This will be a little bit easier. So let's say you're looking at a stock. So we'll go with Banana Co., my favorite fictional company. All right, so we're looking at Banana Co. And it has, let's say right now it's listed at $10.12. So what you're going to do then is you will buy in. I wish this would just let me do that. So let's say you want to buy in and you're thinking, okay, well, it's having a good day. I want to sell, but what I want to do is I don't want to just sell. So for example, you could say, okay, well, I'll sell at 10.12 or I'll sell at maybe 10.15. So what you can do is you can set up a trailing, and then you can sort of choose. So you could say, let's go with a trailing at, we'll say we'll go 0.5. We'll just say that's where we're going to go, only because it makes it easy. So what that means is, so you put in a trailing, you bought it at 10.12. So if it will sell at, so if it all of a sudden turns around and goes bad, it will sell it at 10.07. So that becomes your stop loss. But suppose, and we'll pull this up here. I hope this is big enough that you guys can see it. Suppose it goes up. So let's say it goes up to 10.15 all of a sudden. Oh, other drawings. I didn't realize it scrolled. Just discovered. Oh, it does. It has a big scroll. Okay, that's kind of cool. So if it goes up to 10.15, what that then means is that, yeah, okay, I have a whiteboard account. Leave me alone. If it goes up to 10.15, it means that it will now sell if it drops to 10.05. So we've set this up. So right now at 10.15, it would have to fall back to 10.05. But now let's say it does do what we were hoping for. And let's say it went all the way up to, say, let's go with let's say it made it all the way up to 10.30. So if it were to make it to 10.30, at that point, if it retraces and it goes back, it will sell it at 10.25. So it'll just keep on doing this, right? So you want to make sure. Now, here's a big thing. If you make your trailing stop loss too small, the price is always going to retrace a little bit as it's moving up. So, because it never moves like it won't move like this all day. It's going to move like this. Maybe come down, maybe back up, maybe down, back up, down. So it's going to do this. So what you're trying to do is you don't want to come up here and have that right there trigger that little correction. You don't want that to trigger yourself. So, you're taking a look, and on a daily, these are sometimes a couple. Now, if all of a sudden it does come up, and sometimes this will happen, you'll have some bad luck. It'll come up, it'll come down, it'll come, whoops, ooh, it'll go up. And then you just have like a really bad one. And then maybe at that point it goes back up. Oh, all right. Yeah. Anyway, this sometimes does happen. So sometimes it gets fired. But I mean, if you're working, if you're day trading, you'll catch that this has happened, and you can just set up a new one um, to go up. So that's a really good key. Now, you don't have that at National Bank. I wish we did. I really wish we did. I have to do it manually because that's what I do. I will manually create. So I'll watch it and I'll be like, okay, I'll manually put in a regular stop loss for about zero point 0.5 under. And then when it goes up, I'll just, I'll notice, oh, it's gone up to here. I'll just change my stop loss. So I just do that manually. But this thing here, it just does it. So it does it on its own. So you can kind of like leave it and forget it, work on another one of your assets. Kind of a neat little thing. All right. Okay. Well, let me get back over here. There we go. There we go. All right. JJ says merch, merch, merch. Yeah, we definitely have to. Whoa, we have Rhubarb's second comment. Hey, hey. And he put in 2 hays to signify that second comment. So that's kind of cool. Enid says, I'll catch the beginning after. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Vicvin says, I use Wealthsimple and National Bank Direct, and you mentioned preferring NBDB because desktop, but I use the apps, and Wealthsimple is 10 times more user-friendly, less cumbersome. Yeah, their app is probably, I have not used, I will put this, I'm going to say this right up. I have not used the National Bank Direct Brokerage app. I just use, because I do my day trading, well, my swing trading, because I do it on my desktop, I'm comparing Wealthsimple's desktop to National Bank's, and there's just no contest. I wish if Wealthsimple were to come in and update their desktop experience to where it was comparable, then I'd be fine. I'd go fully back to Wealthsimple because I do like Wealthsimple. I think they're a fantastic company. I like a lot about them. It's just because I have that mobility with National Bank. Let's see here. Enid says, can you use National Bank broker as a non-resident of Canada? That's a good question. I don't know. Now, it depends. Here's the thing. If you can, I mean, if you're a Canadian and you're living abroad, I can't see why not. But I've never actually looked at that question. Now, I know there has been a request for me to do a video on, expatriates. So what, taxes and things like that from investing outside of the country. So if you're a Canadian, but you don't live here, ramifications with things like your TFSA. So that is something that is on the plan. It is in the plan book. I'll probably touch on something like this as well, because I think that's a really good question. So thank you for that question, because I would not have thought to look that up if you hadn't brought it up. So that's cool. Cortland says, Questrade also does trailing stop losses. Oh, fantastic. And I know there are some people like Canadian in a t-shirt. He loves Questrade. Absolutely loves it. So if you're looking for Questrade help, just go over to Canadian in a t-shirt, check out his channel. There's so much Questrade specific information there. Including, of course, everyone's favorite, Norbid Gambit. So that's something you can go check out as well. The one issues I have with Questrade is, especially with new investors, is that there's a little bit of a hurdle, because I believe, unless they've changed it, and Cortland, you might know, I know you had to have an initial investment of $1,000. So if somebody's brand new to investing, and maybe they're young and they don't have a lot of resources, that could be a barrier to entry. And also the fact that you're paying commissions. But here's the thing. Let me put this into perspective. If you are not making a lot of trades, so, let's say, for example, you're just that person, you just DCA into into whatever it is. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Questrade doesn't charge commissions on ETFs. I think. I could be wrong, though. I could absolutely be wrong. So let me know if I am right on that. But yeah, I mean, something like, commissions, I hate them, but if you're not an active trader, so if you're more or less, you come in maybe once a month and drop a few things in, and you get no you're just going to let it, leave it and forget it type thing because it's a very long term. It's perhaps not as bad, other than, and this is that thing, um, when you're paying commissions in something like inside your TFSA. So, that technically does eat up contribution space. So, you know, it's just something to keep in mind. But you'll gain that back as it grows. So there we go. Perfect. Here comes Cortland. Yeah, so buying ETFs are free. That's what I was thinking. Sell 1 cent per share, minimum 4.95 to a maximum of 9.95. Yeah, so I know with Quest Trade as well, a lot of times when it comes to rewards for, let's say signing up new folk, I think what they give you is, I don't think they give you cash. I think they give you a whole bunch of free commissions, like sort of like you can do X amount of trades for free type thing. So just something to think about. Enid says, yeah, no commissions on ETFs when you buy, but there's a commission when you sell. So yeah, there we go. 1 cent per share. I think what Cortland was saying. So yeah, it is kind of fun. All right, guys. Whew, this has been another great stream. You guys are just friggin' awesome. I love you guys. I will say coming up. So we do have CT REIT, which you guys had voted. And keep in mind, this is the beautiful thing. Before in the pool, the way the pool works. So for any of you guys who are new, the way the pool works when we're doing our voting. So once you get picked and put into the pool, but once you get pulled from the pool to get into the vote, you've got 3 weeks. So you have 3 weeks to win the vote. Otherwise, you're removed. But we added an amendment. When was it? Was it towards? I think it was in the fall. Where if on your 3rd week you come in second, you get another chance. You get that coveted 4th week. That's what happened to CT REIT. And then they came back and they won. So you gotta love it. But I will admit that I know a lot of people love CT REIT. So when I was pulling out of the pool to fill up the vote this week, I may have went a little soft. Maybe not, pick companies that weren't gonna be huge competition. So I may have helped a little bit because I know a lot of you guys really wanted to see CT REIT. So that is coming up. And Jill says, numbers video tomorrow. I don't know what you mean by numbers video tomorrow. I'm at a loss. Maybe I shouldn't be at a loss, but let me know more. So, because tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, for channel members, you get a video tomorrow. But that's the video everybody else can watch on Friday. So I'm not sure. Oh, the members. Oh my God. Yes. Channel members. Every month, the channel members get an exclusive live stream. And that time has come again. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m., there is a channel members live stream. And let me just double check. I'll tell you guys, I already know what it is. By a landslide, because you guys, the channel members gave me a whole bunch of topics to vote. And they gave me a whole bunch of topics. We did a vote, and they want basically portfolio management websites. So we're going to look at a few different things. I'm probably going to show them. I'll probably show them the first peek of Seeking Alpha, just because, why not? We're going to look at a whole bunch of different things that you can put enter your portfolio into, things like, things like passive and a few other things. We'll probably even look a little bit into Blossom because, I'll show you some of the pro features on Blossom because I think they're pretty darn cool. So yeah, that's coming up tomorrow night. Now, if you are not a channel member, heck, you know what? Here, give me a second. I'm going to make somebody a channel member right now. Let's just do it. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So this one person will be able to come to that live stream tomorrow. We'll have to wait for it to pop up. It'll pop up here in a second. All right, here we go. And Glenna Dorrington. Glenna, you are able to catch the Mountain Finance live stream tomorrow. Of course, those of you who want to catch it, absolutely just jump on the membership. A little below, there's a little $ thing if you're on a desktop. Just click on it. It gives you an option. It gives you an option to sign up to the membership for the price of a cup of coffee a month. You get
$338 with taxes.
All right. According to Jill, $338 with taxes. Yeah, the government has to get their portion too. Luckily, they didn't increase that. That would have annoyed me even more than the whole capital gains thing. So, who dat? That was Jill, Jill Bond above you. So that was Jill yelling in, giving her input into the stream. Sometimes she does that. Sometimes she does. But for the most part, anyway, what I was going to say is price of a copy a month gets you a membership. And there we go. Oh, there we are. There's Glenna. Woohoo! Hi, Glenna. So glad it was you. There we go. JJ's like, no, who's Glenna? Glenna's right above you. Yeah, right above you. There we go. Whoops. It's probably because I've seen Glenna talk a few times. Glenna doesn't talk a lot, but that's fine. I mean, you guys, it makes my job easier when you guys talk a lot, to be honest. But at the same time, I know there's lurkers in here. It's actually one time really, really, really interesting. It was on a This Week. Apparently this one guy who watched all the time could not miss This Week. He got his wife to come on so that she could ask for me to give him a shout out. I did, absolutely. But yeah, all of you lurkers, love you. You guys are awesome. You guys are totally awesome. So nothing wrong with that. JJ says, cost me 2% more actually for taxes for each membership. Oh, no, probably because of the province, I'm thinking. Yeah, there we go. Quebec, 15%. Yikes. And there, I'm shy. Yeah, it's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. We're coming to the end, but I'll tell you a funny story. So I used to be super shy, like really, really shy. Like high school, all you'd have to do is look at me. I would turn beet red, and, it was bad. But I recognized, I was like, you know what? This is terrible. I'm never going to be able to do anything if I am this shy. So I basically made a list. I sat down, I made a list of all the things that scare me the most when it comes to my shyness. And then I did every single one of them. For example, public speaking. So I ran for student president because I'd have to give a speech in front of the entire school. Petrified, absolutely petrified, but I pushed through it. And I just did it over and over and over again. And now I've got no problem. I can stand in front of a camera. I can stand in front of a group of people. I can completely make a complete ridiculous banana bread head of myself, and I'm okay with it. It's kind of fun. So it is something that you can push through if you want to. If you want to, you don't have to. I took it to the extreme, but that's just me. I tend to do that sometimes. So anyway, so yeah, channel. I guess that came out of the channel membership live stream tomorrow night. That's going to be awesome. Video dropping tomorrow for channel members, Friday for everybody else. And we'll be back here again on Sunday with This Week. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. Also, coming up, the last video of the month as well is the channel membership choice. So everybody gets to watch it. Just the channel members get to tell me what I'm doing. So I never know what I'm going to end up doing. I think the last channel membership one was the canoe deep dive. I think it was. So I'll be putting out stuff for the channel members soon so that you guys can have a chance to look at that. So that's going to be all fantastic. All right, everybody, this has been great. I love it. I kind of don't want to go, but I'm also hungry. So we got both of those things going at the same time. So I will bid you guys farewell for now. And oh, look at this. It would be cool to watch you swing trade live. Well, when we get to 4,000 subs, I'm going to be desperate for content because that's going to be a full like 7 hours or so of streaming. So you'll probably get to see a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of stuff. So that'll all be in there. But anyway, thank you as well to you, Enid. Thank you, all of you guys. You guys rock. I love seeing you guys here. This is fantastic. All right, everybody. Until next time, take care and have fun. See you.